Hi, Selena Martin from BC Home Share Caregivers Association, and I just wanted to give an update since my last video post. Community Living BC has been in contact with me this week and announced there was the crisis funding by the government. Wednesday there was an update as to from Community Living BC, and in it talked again about if you become ill, call 811 and that type of thing. But then they also had that if you are the person you supported became ill, to contact your coordinator. And so it made me wonder, well, what's the plan with that? And had other home care providers been in contact with their coordinators and what they were being told? So I posted on our Facebook group, and we got some really good responses. Some people are being supported really well. They feel they've had some problems and their coordinators have gone to bat for them, so that's great. Others got generic, just updates, nothing, no really contact. And then there was some who had asked their coordinators, well, what's going to happen when if I become ill or the person I support do? And in general, they were told, well, you're going to have to continue supporting the person. So I sent that feedback back to head office because it seemed different than what we had been discussing. And there was going to be a teleconference on Friday morning for service providers. So we said we would talk after that. Well, Friday morning on the teleconference, one of the things that was mentioned was how there was over 4,000 people who live in home share. And then that was it. There was no other talk about supports or anything. That was it. So I was a little shocked and like, what's the plan here? And when I got off the phone, and I shortly later got a message from one of our members, and she had received an email from a local community living office, and in it said, do you have a backup plan if you happen to become ill and need someone to assist in supporting the individual in your home? If not, please solidify one now prior to any such illness. So I guess the backup plan is up to us to create the backup plan. I did a poll on our Facebook page. 80% of people do not have a backup plan. It was actually over it, because in this situation, it's not like a normal crisis emergency. We have backup plans for that. We usually have respite workers that will come, step in. This is a case where it's a highly transmittable disease. So often our respite workers, they have people in their home, and so they can't have somebody ill coming into their home, because then they'll get sick and then the person they support would get sick. So unless you had family and the family was healthy, there is no backup plan. And the thing that most people don't realize is that home share providers are probably the lowest paid workers in Canada. Most of them make under $2.50 an hour, $2.50 an hour, most of them make. So it's not like we can go hire somebody to come in our home and support the person. So when we become ill, we contact the coordinator. What then? What happens when we start having difficulty breathing? We have a choice. We go to the hospital, leave the person. Well, I can tell you, home share providers aren't going to do that. They're not going to leave their person by themselves. So then they stay home. And they stay home and they're sick. And what happens with there is no support to come there, because right now there is no backup plan that we're being told you come up with it. So what happens then? We need help. Minister Shane Simpson, we need your help. We have done what the government has asked us. We're self-isolating. Many of us have had to leave our other jobs. In some cases, when you're dealing with somebody with a compromised immune system, both husband and wife have had to take leave from their work. You fill out the EI and it talks about, are you sick? Is a family member sick? It has nothing there in it for us. We don't know if we are going to be covered. We need direction. I've asked about this too. I've asked to help us access that federal funding, but there's been nothing. And we're some of the lowest paid workers in Canada, and we're taking care of incredibly vulnerable people. And it's not just happening to us caregivers, it's the family caregivers. We need backup plans, we need emergency beds, and we need them now. Minister Shane Simpson, we're asking for your help. And we need plans now, not when we get sick, we make a phone call.